Straight on to some business news for you now on the programme. We're starting with the US government suing Elon Musk over his purchase of what used to be called, yes, guess what, Twitter.
Hi, Stuart. Yes, the Securities and Exchange Commission is suing the owner of what is now called X just days before President-elect Donald Trump takes office. Musk had strongly backed Trump in the campaign and will lead a commission looking into slashing federal spending. The SEC is accusing Musk of failing to disclose in a timely manner that he'd accrued ownership of over 5% of the company in early 2022. So as a result, benefited from an artificially low stock price, some $150 million lower. He later completed his takeover, of course, of Twitter in October of that year for $44 billion. Musk's lawyer, Alex Spiro, called the filing a sham and said this was the result of a, quote, multi-year campaign of harassment against the billionaire.
Meanwhile, Facebook and Instagram owner Meta is in hot water in Brazil. This is after announcing changes to its fact-checking policy.
Meta told the South American country it would not yet end fact checks outside the U.S. and that it would only extend the new policy to other countries until it had fully tested a new, quote, community notes system, which will replace the third-party checkers. This system exists on Musk's social media platform X and allows users to leave notes on potentially misleading posts. Meta's reassurances to Brazil come after it was given a 72-hour deadline to explain its policy to the country. Take a listen to Brazil's new communications minister as he took office Tuesday.
Measures such as those recently announced by Meta are bad because they violate fundamental rights and national sovereignty, promoting a digital Wild West. We defend freedom of expression. We regret that extremism is distorting this concept to enable freedom of manipulation and aggression.
Now, back at its headquarters in California, Meta is looking to thin its ranks.
The group is looking to slash 5% of its global workforce this year in a memo sent to staff by CEO Mark Zuckerberg. He said he was speeding up the company's regularly scheduled performance-based cuts in order to drop low performers faster. The company employs about 72,000 people globally, so this would mean that around 3,600 people would be affected. The last big cuts came in 2022 and 23 when Meta parted ways with 11,000 and 10,000 people, respectively. Zuckerberg warned of an intense year ahead, and this also comes after he had announced significant policy changes more in line with Donald Trump's incoming administration by ending its third-party fact-checking program as well as diversity and inclusion initiatives. He also recently spoke about the need to inject more, quote, masculine energy in corporate culture.
Straight onto the markets then. What's the latest, Sean?
Well, European bourses opening higher this Wednesday. Investors' eyes awaiting U.S. consumer inflation data later in the day. In the UK, December inflation fell lower than expected at 2.5%. It was expected at 2.6%. So getting closer to that 2% target set by the Bank of England. The FTSE in London opening the session over 0.2% higher.
And finally from Sean, Mexico is bracing itself for the return of Donald Trump to the White House, and its president is working hard to try and avoid new tariffs.
The U.S. is by far Mexico's top trading partner, and that relationship has come under serious threat after President-elect Donald Trump vowed to impose 25% tariffs as soon as he takes office. Such a scenario would be devastating to Mexico's economy. In a bid to avoid it, President Claudia Sheinbaum has sought to placate Trump by cracking down on the flow of migrants and drugs to the U.S. Brian Quinn takes a closer look.
We're going to tariff the hell out of them.
A stark threat from Donald Trump. His target, America's next-door neighbor, Mexico.
In Mexico, you know, people...
In November, then-candidate Trump vowed to slap 25% tariffs on imports from both Mexico and Canada unless they stop the flow of migrants and drugs across U.S. borders. Trump's subsequent victory, a major test for new Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum. In 2023, her country sent 79% of its exports, some $472 billion worth, to the U.S. It's a crucial trade relationship, one Sheinbaum has sought to defend with diplomacy.
I am convinced that the relationship between Mexico and the United States will be good and respectful, where dialogue will prevail.
But she's also been working to meet some of Trump's demands. Since taking office in October, she's stepped up an already historic crackdown on migrants, detaining some 475,000 of them. Mexico has also seized a record 1,100 kilos of fentanyl and cracked down on Chinese counterfeit goods moving through Mexican cities. But should Trump impose tariffs, Scheinbaum is likely to retaliate.
Mexico will have to answer as well. It reserves its right to choose the products or where it would retaliate. And there is an awareness in the Mexican government that we don't want it to come to that.
For now, analysts say the Mexican president seems to be keeping her options open, but that her actions to date may just be enough to avoid a trade war on day one of the new Trump era.
Donald Trump's inauguration obviously taking place on Monday the 20th.
Yes, full coverage, of course, here on France 24. Cheryl, thanks.